husbandry, that is a known farm activity with the NCERT. This is the pie chart given over there, which is not in your book. So there they are showing the contribution or distribution of poultry and livestock in India as per 2012. 58% goes to poultry and 24% go to cattle and buffaloes, and 16% to sheep and goats, and 1% to pig, and 1% to others. Others include rearing and breeding of horses, mules, ponies, and other animal they can have. So India is known for the largest livestock in whole world. And there the definition of animal husbandry. Animal husbandry or livestock farming is that branch of agriculture which is concerned with the breeding, rearing, and caring of for farm animals. So livestock farming includes all these type of animals, and then fowl is given, that is represent duck and goose. And India is I told you just India is one of the largest livestock population in the world. So this animal husbandry gives the alternative employment opportunities to the farmers, and they can do their farming activities along with this animal husbandry. So in this case they are getting a stable income, and they are getting the proper nutritional value with good food with that, because in animal husbandry definitely they are having this is a source of income and source of food for them also. Now next one is the dairying activities. Dairying activity basically is known as Operation Flood. So this is very important. This point can come. What do you mean by Operation Flood? What type of activity to present? Then you will say it is a milk. So that is related with the milk production. And in the case of milk production, that has been increased to a large extent. And Operation Flood is also known as White Revolution. So that you have to mark that it is also known as White Revolution. That is started by the National Dairy Development Board, and in 1970. This year you ought to remember. And then under the expert guidance of their chairman, Dr. Verghese and Kurian, that name is mentioned over there, but not in NCERT. I found that. So but you have to learn this data, that which organization developed this and in which year, and also the chairman name. You can have just an idea for this. MCQ can come for this. The objective of this program basically to create nationwide milk grid. So what is the purpose of Operation Flood, and what is that Operation Flood? That the definition is given over there. All the farmers pool their milk produce, and then pool all the milk, and then grade them on the basis of the quality, and then processed and marketed to the urban area, different centers, and then they have been sold out over there by different cooperatives. So farmers are assured of fair price and income in this case. And Gujarat basically state is held as a success story in efficient implementation of milk cooperatives, which has been followed up by many states also. And they are also providing many other allied activity, that is meat, eggs, wool, and other byproducts of the emerging productive sector of this diversification. Now what is the requirement for development of this animal husbandry or dairying industry? So basically there is a veterinary doctors, veterinary facilities are to be required, because veterinary facilities have to take care of these animals, and so that the earning of marginal farmer will be in continuation, and improved technology is also required over there. So this is the data by Central Statistical Offices are given, because this is the department which collect the data and circulate the statistics or the data regarding this. So they are saying that there is a 24.8% of the total value of output from the total agriculture and allied sector at current prices, and this is which is the amount, that is the 4,59,051 crore during 2011-12. This is the contribution by the livestock at current prices. If you will value all the goods and services produced by livestock, this animal husbandry, then it is the 4,59,051 crore. That is a 24.8% of the total value of output from the total agriculture and allied sector at current prices. So the contribution is 24.8 out of all that. Now the next thing is fisheries. So I am starting this fisheries heading from this NCERT. The fishing community regards the water body as a mother or provider. So as per the in the case of fisheries, water body is considered as a dash, that is the option will be given to you as a mother or a provider. Fine, these two options can be there, and you have to choose. MCQ can come out of any line. Fine, so you have I suggest you to read line to line off from NCERT. The water bodies consisting of sea, ocean, river, lakes, nature, and aquatic ponds, stream, etc. are therefore an integral and life-giving source for the fishing community. In India, after progressive increase in the budgetary allocation and introduction of new technologies in fisheries and Aquaculture. The development of fisheries has come a long way. Presently, fish production from inland source contributes about 64% to the total fish production, and the balance 36% comes from the marine sector. Today, total fish production account for 0.8% of total GDP in India. West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh, Kerala, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, major fish producing states, and large share of fish worker families are poor. And rampant unemployment, low per capita earning, absence of mobility of labor to other sector, and a high rate of illiteracy, indebtedness are some of the major problem fishing community facing nowadays. Even though women are not involved in this active fishing, about 60% of the workforce in export marketing and 40% in internal marketing and are women. There is a need to increase credit facilities through cooperatives and SHGs for fishermen to meet the working capital requirement for marketing. So definitely this business is facing a lot of problem that has been discussed over there. Now we will go with the heading to heading. So what is the fishing all about? Fishing refers to the occupation that is related to catching, processing and selling of fish and other aquatic animals, and that is an important role in socio-economic development also of the country. And basically it has been said that budgetary allocation and new technology has been introduced in this fishing industry. And now the important points regarding fishing industry was that fishing community regards water body as a mother. Fine, that I have told you. And then that can be asked, what are the water bodies? Name to water bodies. Likewise, question can come easily of 1 mark. And water body is considered as a mother or provider, that you have to answer. Now the volume of fish production that we have discussed also. Fish production from inland sources contributes 64% of the total fish production, and the balance 36% comes from the marine sector. So that is the inland source. Inland means whatever the geographical boundary we are having. And then share of fishing in GDP, that is 0.8% of the total GDP. So that question can be asked, as per the data, how much percentage contributed from the fishing industry to total GDP, that is 0.8%. And the major states involved, you have to just go through the name of these major states like West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh, Kerala, Gujarat, Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu. Mainly the states belong to south side. And then women participating in fishing, there is a less involvement of women participating in fishing. And women are basically involved in the marketing area over there. So that the data shows that 60% of workforce in export marketing and 40% in internal marketing are women. And there is need to increase the credit facility to provide for the development of this particular fishing industry. And they are to main emphasis on the cooperatives and SHGs for the fishing industry. Problem faced by the fishing, that is widespread underemployment. There is an underemployment means more and more people are they are involved in the work, but if you move out those people, then there is no decrease in the production in that industry. So that is the underemployment. It seems that they are working, but they are having the less work, so that is the underemployment. Suppose 2 persons are required, so more than 2 persons are going for fishing, and unnecessary they are contributing, unnecessary they are employing over there, but they are not contributing over there. So low per capita earning is over there. Absence of mobility of labor to other sectors. So the people who are indulged in fishing, the development is required, because the people over there are indulging in fishing and no other activities are there for earning. High illiteracy rate and indebtedness over there. High illiteracy rate means they are not getting the proper education, and indebtedness means they are caught in the debt trap. Once they take the loan from one person and there's to pay back that person, they are not having sufficient earning to pay back the loan of that person, then they have to take another and then another loan. So they are in indebtedness, that is a debt trap. And fishing industry is contributing 4.15% of the value of agriculture and other activities, and that is a contribution by fishing industry. Comparatively, the animal husbandry or dairying, they are contributing for 24.8, and now it is 4.15%. And the problem basically there, the pollution and overfishing should not be there. So, and all the welfare program for fishing community should be there. Suppose they are in the problem of financial problem, other problem, there will be cooperatives and SHGs should be there to solve these problems. Now I'm going with the horticulture. Horticulture, I'm just taking out from the NCERT, that is blessed with the varying climate. Varying means a different type of climate we are having, as you notice every year. And soil condition, India has adopted growing and diverse horticulture crops such as fruits, vegetables, tuber crops, flowers, medicinal and aromatic plant species, and the plantation crop. These crop plays a vital role in providing food and nutrition. Besides addressing employment concern, horticulture sector contributes nearly one-third of the value of the agriculture output and 6% of GDP of India. India has emerged as a world leader in producing a variety of fruits, mangoes, bananas, coconuts, cashew nuts, and then number of spices, and is the second largest producer of the fruits and vegetable. This is the important, they can ask. India is the second largest production of the fruits and vegetable. Fine. And that is a world leader for producing variety of fruits and spices. And economic condition of many farmers engaged in horticulture has improved and has become a means of improving livelihood for many unprivileged classes. And flowers harvesting, nursery maintenance, and hybrid seed production, tissue culture, propagation of fruits and flowers, and food processing are highly remunerative employment option for women in rural area also. Though in the terms of number, our livestock population is quite impressive, but its productivity is quite low as compared to other countries, as that has been discussed over there. So first of all, we go with the horticulture. So horticulture is basically related with the cultivation of fruit, vegetable, medicines, and medicinal plants, aromatic plants, flowers, tuber crops also. And India is considered as the second largest out of the world for this production of producer of fruits and vegetables. And then 6% of GDP has been contributed. That question can be asked. Share in world population, that is in the terms of mango, banana, coconut, cashews, these are the main item you have to just go through. And then second largest producer of both vegetable and fruits in the world. And improvement in the economic, definitely horticulture, the farmer involved in horticulture, the economic condition has been improved, and great contribution by the women also in this case. So that is the horticulture over there. So what is required in horticulture for the development? They require electricity, proper infrastructure, and then storage facility should be there, marketing linkage should be there at proper time, and small scale processing should be there because horticulture need processing. So small scale processing industry should be introduced over there for this, and improvement of dissemination, like distribution of goods or horticulture product for the market. Now the next thing is information technology that has been introduced. Information technology means basically that is a branch of engineering that deals with the use of the computer and distribution of information and telecommunication to retrieve and store and transmit information. Now information technology is definitely revolutionized many sector in Indian economy, and this is very important nowadays and very important part of tertiary sector. And this is basically many information centers has been opened up by the government through radios, through TV, and through other medias, and they are keep on telling about the horticulture and other activities and all the allied activities and agriculture activities to the farmers, and giving information time to time. And there are many programs, special programs for this also, and app was also introduced where the farmers can put up their query and then they will get the answer. Opening up IT center in the village area also gives them employment in one way, and in the other way giving the information regarding the employment and all other activities, so they can open up and they can start with that. And information technology also gives the information about the facilities given by the government to in this rural areas. So this is a scheme which has been introduced in October 2014 that you have to learn, and that is the adoption of village by the parliamentarian. Means the government of India introduced new scheme called that is known as Sansad Adarsh Gram Yojana. So that you have to learn because this is very important. That is given in NCERT also. Under this scheme, what happens that member of India's parliament need to identify and develop one village from their constituencies, and to begin with the MPs can develop one village as a model village by 2016, and the two more by 2019, and covering about 2500 villages in India. So likewise they are to cover and they are to update, they are to give the proper facilities like financial in all the ways to these villages, and their villages can be upgraded, and their name, and then they have been given the regard for this. According to the scheme, the village can have the population of 3000 and 5000 in the plains, and 1000 and 3000 in the hilly areas, and should not be MP's own and their spouse village. So that is should not be included in the MP's own and their spouse village. Other than that, they are to develop one village by this time. The time span has been given to these MPs, and MPs are expected to facilitate a village development plan, motivate villagers to take up all the facilities activities and build infrastructure in the area of health, nutrition and education and all. So this is the scheme made by the government, and this is a very good scheme. And now because it also induces the competition among the MPs, and if anybody wants to upgrade or improve the condition of villages, this is a very good idea for that. Now organic farming has been deleted from your syllabus. Now this is the para that is given just over there, not in Sandeepgarh. Though in the terms of number, our livestock population is quite impressive, but its productivity is very low as compared to other countries. This is very important that the productivity in India, in the case of the livestock population, that has been productivity is low compared to other countries or not. Then you are to say, if you will know that it is a low contribution, then definitely you will mention in the paper also. It requires improved technology and promotion of good breeds of animals to enhance productivity. How can the productivity can be increased in the animal husbandry? By having the good breeds of animal and by improving the technology over there, and improve veterinary care and credit facility to marginal and small farmers and landless laborer would enhance sustainable livelihood option through livestock production. Production of fisheries are already increased substantially, and however problems related to overfishing and population need to be regulated and controlled. Welfare program for the fishing community have to be reoriented in a manner which can provide long-term gains and subsistence of livelihood. Horticulture is emerged as a very successful sustainable livelihood option and need to be encouraged significantly. So all the allied activities should need, they are in special requirement of the credit facility and other upgradation, and that is to be encouraged significantly. Enhancing its role require investment in infrastructure like electricity, cold storage, marketing linkage, small scale processing units, technology improvement, and dissemination should be there. Dissemination means distribution of goods and services, distribution of goods basically over there to the final consumer, and other alternate livelihood option, that is IT. So IT is an information technology that has been revolutionized many sectors in the Indian economy, and that we have discussed over there. IT we have discussed in the earlier also. So that is the same, all the same point have been discussed over there, that IT is revolutionized in many sector and giving a positive impact on all the agriculture sector. And government can predict areas of food insecurity and vulnerability using appropriate information and software tools, so that action can be taken and action can be assessed also. So, and this is the conclusion part for this. It is clear that unless and unless some spectacular changes occur, the rural sector might continue to remain backward. There is a great need today to make rural area more vibrant through diversification into dairying, poultry, fishing, vegetable, fruits, like you can say horticulture, and linking up the rural development center with the urban and foreign market to realize high returns on the investment for the products. Moreover, infrastructure element like credit, marketing, farmer friendly agriculture policies, constant appraisal and dialogue between the farmers group. Dialogue means conversation with this farmer group and state agriculture department are essential to realize the full potential in the market. So this is the suggestion for this particular sector that you have to mention, if that can be asked. Question come in the way that with the development of all these type of industries other than the agro industry, other allied industry, how they can be more contributed by the government, so that the farmer can get the benefit. So you can write down these points. And today we cannot look at the environment and rural development, two distinct subjects. So there is a need to invent or procure alternative set of eco-friendly technology that lead to sustainable development. So they want rural development as a sustainable development, no use of chemical or shortcut in agriculture activity, so that it will be harmful for the health of all the population of the country. The thing that have been, or the product that has been produced on the land or through urban husbandry or any other fishing or other type of activities, so fruits, vegetable, horticulture, on all this, the sustainable development is giving a very much important, so that it will not spoil the health of the population of the country or the citizen of the country. So from these, each rural community can choose whatever will suit its purpose. First of all, then we need to learn from that, also try out when found relevant practice from the available set of best practice. Illustration stories of rural development experiments that have already been carried out in the similar condition in different part of the country to speed up this process of learning by doing. So they are saying that rural development is quite very important, and there must be some proper plan and action which include the socio-economic development and sustainable development also. Lots of improvement is required over there, and diversification is very much important. Diversification is very important, whether in the case of change of crop pattern or doing all these non-farm activities. So these activities are very important in the case of rural areas. So this is all with the chapter, because organic farming is related, so I'm not going through this chapter.